The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore.
Welcome, one and all, back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network as we get set to begin the second game of this doubleheader. The T-Bones snapped their 7-game winning streak in the first game of this series, the game they were shut out in, 3-0. Kansas City will look to get back on track now in the second game of this series. Today's starting pitcher for Wichita is Todd Kibbe. Todd Kibbe is a big, burly man on the mound. The numbers support that. He's 6'4", 265-pound left-hander out of Youngstown, Ohio. Played last season in the Frontier League with Lake Erie. And so far this season with Wichita, he's 1-3 with a 5.51 ERA. Before that, he was 2-4 with a 2.70 ERA with Lake Erie. He was selected by the Chicago White Sox in the 37th round of the 2011 draft out of St. Petersburg College. During his time with Wichita, he's yet to face Kansas City. He's only had 6 appearances. His one win came on July 18th against Sioux Falls, where he went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He's got 29 strikeouts and 12 walks in 32 2/3 innings pitched. Opponents are hitting .273 against him. Leading off for Kansas City today will be Tyler Massey. He'll be followed by Dalton Wheat, Brett Wiley, Jake Blackwood, Anthony Gallo, Starlin Rodriguez, Vladimir Frias, Nolan Johnson, and Sergio Leone. Wichita winning that defense looks like this. Zach Cox at third. Shortstop Leo Vargas. Second base Christian Stringer. At first will be Matt Chavez. Outfield left to right will go Brendan Saldago, TJ Middlestat, and Richard Prigatano. First pitch to Tyler Massey is low and away, 1-0. Tyler Massey enters this at bat, batting .280 with 6 home runs and 26 RBIs. Massey fouls that right above the T-Bones dugout, off the top and back into the field. Vladimir Frias sprints out of the dugout, sprints back in. Gotta love the hustle. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tyler Massey. In the first game, Tyler Massey went 1 for 3. Massey drops that into, he almost dropped it into center field. I got way ahead of myself, but a sliding grab by TJ Middlestat brings it in about ground level for the first out. I just played the Holy Shnikes on the board, the quote from the popular movie Black Sheep. And holy Shnikes indeed. TJ Middlestat, show me your glove. That brings up Dalton Wheat. Dalton Wheat played his college ball an hour away from here. Well, his first 2 years at least at Butler Community College. First pitch strike to Wheat. No balls, 1 strike. This is also where Dalton Wheat made his professional baseball debut. Last time Kansas City was here, that's when he was picked up. The 0-1 is low, and that evens the count at 1 with 1 out. He was picked up in time for the second game of that series, but it was postponed, and so they picked him up for the third game instead. That was the move that sent Christian Torres packing. The 1-1. Wheat checks a swing, but he goes around 1-2. Dalton Wheat, I'm sure, has a pretty large fan base here in Wichita. Kansas City's made their uniform change. Now they're wearing their all grays with the oxblood lettering with the black helmets. Wichita still red hats, red tops with the digital camos. Dalton Wheat lines that to left field. He's on with a 1-out single. You can hear the applause. Like I said, a large fan base in town for Dalton Wheat. Or I guess I should say Dalton Wheat is in town for his fan base. As Brett Wiley steps in now for Kansas City. In the first game, Wiley went 0 for 3. Comes into this at bat, batting .324 with 5 home runs and 40 RBIs. Lineup hasn't changed, mostly for Kansas City. In the first game, Tyson Gillies was batting in the 2-hole, but he's now injured. I see him down there with his left arm wrapped. At first, I thought it was a dislocated shoulder, and looking closer into it, it appears that it may be a dislocated elbow. Don't take my word for the gospel. I'm not truly sure. First pitch strike in there to Wiley. No balls, 1 strike. 1 out, runner on first. Game still scoreless here in the top of the first. Wiley chops the 0-1 off the plate, foul. No balls, 2 strikes. In the first game, Jesse Pratt was the pitcher for Wichita, and he went 5 scoreless. 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. And then Chad Nading came in, pitched his 1 inning, scoreless. And then Frankie Reed picked up his 17th save in his 1 inning of scoreless work. So you don't know how deep the Wichita bullpen will be. They don't know if Frankie Reed will be available. So that's outside, 2-1 to Wiley. Frankie Reed is one of the better closers in the league. And if he's not available and this is a close game, they may either one of 2 things. They may either push him, or they may just not even have him available and put some setup man in there to close. Kibbe checks on Wheat at first. Wheat's back standing. Dalton Wheat does have plenty of speed. He may be going here with 1 out, 2-1, scoreless game. And top of the first. The 2-1 is outside. Make that 3-1. Brett Wiley now has a pitch to play with. 86 degrees that first pitch, and you feel every bit of it with the humidity. Not proud to say I'm sweating up here in the booth. But, I mean, it's all in a day's work, so I guess I'm a little proud. It should change the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's high, right around Wiley's nose. He gets out of the way in time. That draws the count full. On deck for Kansas City is number 10, Jake Blackwood. Full count, 1 out, runner on first. Here comes the payoff pitch from Kibbe. High, and Brett Wiley walks with 1 out, putting runners on first and second for the ever so dangerous Jake Blackwood.
First baseman number 10, Jake Blackwood.
Jake Blackwood in the first game went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He's not a type of hitter that stays down too often. So you have to expect him to just crush a ball at some point. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but at some point in time, the bearded RBI machine will knock in a ribby. First pitch to Blackwood, inside. Whoa, they called strike. That was at his knees. He even had to get out of the way. And it's a called strike. Today's umpires, now's the perfect time to mention them. Home plate, Kurt Brandon, first base umpire. Kyle Kilgore, third base umpire. AJ Chalk. 0-1. Blackwood way out ahead of that breaking ball from Kibbe. He's behind now. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out when it should be 1-1. But you know, what can he do? It's 0-2. Jake Blackwood steps in. With the runners on first and second with 1 out in a scoreless game. 0-2. Blackwood fouls it off the end of his bat and breaks the T-Bones dugout. There's a bunch of foam barricades while there's steel poles. And he hit that so hard that it knocked one of those off. Tyler Ybarra down there holding it up as a prize. Jake Blackwood hoping to get the runners moving here with 1 out. The 0-2 is low. Blackwood coming back in the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Scoreboard here says no balls, no strikes, and 2 outs. I don't know if that's what it says on Point Streak. I can take a quick peek if you're following the game that way. I'm here to tell you, though, that's not the truth. Kibbe with the 1-2. Blackwood sends it out to deep left field. That ball still carrying. Left fielder on the track. That's up and out of here. Jake Blackwood, 3-run see-you-later bomb here at Lawrence Dumont. And if I didn't call that, I don't know what did. I told you he would crush a ball. May not be today, may not be tomorrow. But at some point, the bearded RBI machine picks up 3 more as Kansas City takes a 3-0 lead here in the top of the first. Kansas City, with revenge on their minds after being shut out in the first game, have already put up as many runs as Wichita did in the first game. In the first inning, Jake Blackwood, 1 swing of the bat. How do you like that, folks? 13 home runs on the season now for Jake Blackwood, ties the team lead with this guy, Anthony Gallus. Gallus takes a big hack at the first pitch. It's by him. No balls, 1 strike. Gallus, like I said, is now tied for the team lead with 13 home runs after Jake Blackwood tied him. And then last at bat, Gallus comes on now with 1 out, nobody on, as that's outside, and evens the count at 1. You may be hearing some German music over my headset. They've made Anthony Gallus the beer batter of the game, and the 1-1. Gallus swings and comes up empty on the breaking ball, and there's the excitement from the crowd as they want their free beer batter, or whatever. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Kansas City leading 3-0 here in the top of the first. Here comes the 1-2. Gallus fouls that down the right field line, out of play. Count remains 1-2. Oh, and another sponsored foul ball. I mentioned in the last game that Wichita, they sponsor everything. Foul balls, and Gallus hit by a pitch on his right knee. Sponsored by Todd Kibbe. That puts a runner on first with 1 out. Tyler Massey clapping that he took it. Gallus will walk down to first. Bill Selby will check on him while he's down there. Kansas City has a rotation of 3 first base coaches. Usually on the road for the most part of the season has been John West. No longer travels with the team as he started his teaching job and his coaching job at high school, and we wish him nothing but the best. Frank White, typically at home. Bill Selby will take those duties on the road now. First pitch to Starlin Rodriguez is low and away, 1-0. In the first game, Rodriguez went 1 for 2. Home plate umpire will call times. The pitching coach will come out and talk to Kibbe as he has been laboring through this start. Exactly what Kansas City has needed. Kibbe might have his best stuff right now, but Kansas City is swinging their hottest bats of the season. Todd Kibbe is already at 24 pitches through 1/3 of an inning. Kansas City getting on him early. Kansas City scored their 3 runs. Earlier this inning, obviously, with it being the first, Dalton Wheat singled to get things going. He was followed by a Brett Wiley walk, and then Jake Blackwood, 3-run home run to left field. Absolutely just demolished. I thought it had a shot to stand, even though it was crushed, granted. But when you're up higher, you kind of think that things are going to stay in. Brennan Saldelga also tracked it clear to the fence, but it was hitting the concrete on the other side. We resume play, 1-0 to Rodriguez. Rodriguez showing bunt. Fouls it into the on-deck circle past Vladimir Frias. I guess that also tells you Vladimir Frias is on deck. Wind picking up here in Wichita, blowing my papers all over the place, blowing right to left. If you ever hear me inhale real quick and then stand up, it's because I have a broken chair. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Just sunk back down on my chair. I think I'm going to have to give up this battle. Two balls, no strikes. Kibbe fires home. Rodriguez ropes that to left field and foul. 2-1. Kansas City seeing what Kibbe has early, and it looks like they like what they see. Tyler Massey led things off with a shot to center field, but a sliding grab by TJ Middlestat retired him. And a single, walk, and 3-run home run. And now another walk, and that's how we got to Rodriguez. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rodriguez. He chops that foul down the left field line into the crowd. Count remains 2-2, 1 out, runner on first. Kansas City leading 3-0 here on the top of the first. This feels more like a baseball game than the first game of this doubleheader. I mean, you had the national anthem, you had the crowd getting into it. As Rodriguez fouls that off, stay alive, 2-2. Much larger crowd than what was at the first game. The announced attendance during the first game must not have been big enough to put into the box score. Game was played in 1 hour and 49 minutes. Those are the ones I love. Rodriguez grounds that to Stringer at third. Stringer drops it. Close play at second. Gallus is out. I don't think so, sir. Gallus says something to the second base umpire and returns to the dugout. His teammates in the dugout also not a fan of that call, but they remain mum. Starlin Rodriguez is now on first with 2 down as him and Anthony Gallus practically just switch spots. Vladimir Frias steps in now for Kansas City. Frias went 0 for 3 in the first game. And now he is batting .240 with 5 home runs and 29 RBIs. Comes on now with his buddy Rodriguez on first with 2 outs. T-Bone's leading 3-0 in the top of the first. Kibbe checks on Rodriguez. Rodriguez literally walks back to the bag. I don't know if that's a testament to how bad Kibbe's pickoff move is, how bad his tell is, or Rodriguez just nonchalantly goes, whatever, dude, and just steps on the bag. First pitch to Kibbe, from Kibbe. Vladimir Frias shows bunt. 1 hopper back to Kibbe. Kibbe runs it over to first and underhands it for the third and final out. But not before Kansas City gets 3 thanks to 1 swing from Jake Blackwood. They lead 3-0 through half an inning here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. The T-Bones leading 3-0 as we head to the home half of the first. Christian Stringer will lead things off for Wichita in the first game. Stringer went 1 for 3 with a run scored. He steps in against Josh Hodges, who so far this season is 3-6 with a .452 ERA. He's got 17 appearances, 15 of those being starts. In an 89 2/3 inning, struck out 54, walking 40. Hodges, first pitch outside, 1-0. Home plate umpire, not happy with the scoreboard, wagging his finger, saying 1-0. Stringer, confused, steps back in. Here comes the 1-0. In there, 1-1. One ball, one strike. John Mazzarelli exchanging words with the home plate umpire. Confusion over the scoreboard. It's a 1-1 fastball just outside, 2-1. Defensively, Kansas City set up like this. Third base, Sergio Leon. Shortstop, Vladimir Frias. Second base, Brett Wiley. First base, Jake Blackwood. Outfield left to right goes Rodriguez, Massey, and Wheat. Stringer, 2-hopper to Leon at third. Leon backsteps and fires to first for the first out. In steps Zach Cox. In the first game, Cox went 0 for 3. He's one of the better hitters in this league, if you look at it from a career standpoint. And going 0 for 3 in the first game is huge for Kansas City. On the season, he's batting .282 with 9 home runs and 48 RBIs. First pitch is outside, 1-0. And to finish out the defense, Nolan Johnson will be making his first T-bone start, catching for Josh Hodges. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Zach Cox bloops that into left field. Rodriguez traveling towards the line. It's going to be off the wall on the hop. Cox will cruise into second easily for a 1-out double. Nearly how the first game started. Wichita picked up a double in the first inning of that one. And then TJ Middlestat hit an inside the park home run. Middlestat not on the pitch now, as it'll be Brent Cleveland. Cleveland did not see action in the first game. He's been one of the more consistent hitters in the American Association history as well. So he's batting .320 with 15 home runs and 54 RBIs this season. Designated hitter today for the Wingnuts. First pitch to Cleveland. In there, no balls, 1 strike. That's in there, no balls and 2 strikes. Cleveland was a second-round draft pick by the Detroit Tigers in the 2010 first-year player draft. He made his major league debut on July 30th, 2006. That was in 6th grade. This guy was playing in the majors. And a 6-4 loss to the Minnesota Twins. Cleveland fouls that back. Caught by Johnson for the second out. For the second out, Kansas City still leading 3-0 in the first. That brings up TJ Middlestat. In the first game, Middlestat went 2 for 3 with a run scored and 2 RBIs. That run and 2 RBIs, part of that 2-run inside the park home run. First pitch to Middlestat from Hodges is in there. No balls, 1 strike. Hodges coming over to Kansas City from Joplin. And his time in Kansas City has been a lot better than his time in Joplin. He's used 1 and 2 at the .360 ERA. 8 appearances, 7 starts, 45 innings pitched, 34 strikeouts, and 19 walks, all during his time in Kansas City. The 0-1 is out in the outer half, called strike. Middlestat not a fan. No balls and 2 strikes. His last time out came on August 11th at home against Laredo. He went 6 innings with 3 runs, all earned, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts, and did not pick up that decision in the T-Bones 5-3 victory over the Lemurs. The 0-2 from Hodges. Just outside, 1-2. Hodges steps off to wonder where that ball was. He'll return to the mound and regain his composure. Sun beginning to set here in Wichita as I pull the sunglasses off. If you know me, you know that's a big deal. Don't know why I said that. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second. T-Bones leading 3-0 in the first. Middlestat chops it down the first baseline and foul. Count remains 1-2. Pete Sanagorski looked to toss that into the crowd. Could not find anybody. And so he just throws it in an umbrella in the sitting area. Love it. I love the dedication. Try to find a fan. Just hit an umbrella. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Middlestat fouls that down the left field line and out of play. The count remains again 1-2. Middlestat, the king of foul balls, had a 7-pitch at bat in the first game. Just seemed like it was never going to end. 1-2 pitch to Middlestat. Swung on and missed. 2 strikes. 2 outs. Middlestat, the king of foul balls, had a 7-pitch at bat in the first game. Just seemed like it was never going to end. 1-2 pitch to Middlestat. Swung on and missed. 2 strikes. 2 outs. Middlestat, the king of foul balls, had a 7-pitch at bat in the first game. Just seemed like it was never going to end. The 1-2 from Hodges. He takes his time, fires home. Middlestat, hey, guess what? Fouls it off again. Count remains. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. T-Bones leading 3-0 in the first. The 1-2 from Hodges in the dirt, blocked by Johnson. Runner must return back to second. Counts now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Middlestat sends it out to left center. That's going to drop. Massey on his horse gets past him. That's going to be on at the wall on the hop. Middlestat digging for 3, and he'll be in there standing with a 2-out RBI triple. TJ Middlestat having himself a day. If you're looking at it from today's standpoint, TJ Middlestat is now only a single away from the cycle. He has 2 inside the park home run in the first game and a double today. And in this game so far, we're looking at a triple, as Kansas City still leads 3-1 in the first. Matt Chavez fouls that down the right field line and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. In the first game, Chavez went 0 for 3. Chavez looks like a power hitter, and that's, well, because he is. So far, he's batting .344, 10 home runs, and 43 ribbies. 0-1. At his head, past him. That's hit the backstop. Chavez, he's out at home as Middlestat went home and got past Johnson. Johnson sliding grab, underhands it to Josh Hodges at home. Hodges applies the tag and gets him out. I know my initial call was confusing, and now Pete Rose Jr. out of that dugout. And let's go have ourselves a ball. Pete Rose Jr., let's hear what you have to say. Josh Hodges appeared to have gotten cleated on the hand on that by TJ Middlestat. Middlestat didn't like it. Neither does Pete Rose Jr. Him and Kurt Brandon, the home plate umpire, still talking about it. They return. Umpires will discuss the play at the plate. From my vantage point, it looked like Josh Hodges applied the tag in time. I know my initial call was confusing, and I do apologize for that. The ball got away from Nolan Johnson. It was a wild pitch. It was outside. Hit the backstop, bounced back. Nolan Johnson slided and handled the ball, then underhanded it to Hodges, and Hodges applied the tags. The umpires are still discussing it. We'll be back after these short messages from our sponsors here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. T-Bones still leading 3-1. At least for now. We'll never know. Well, we'll know when we return back from the break on the call.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. They decided to keep the ruling the same. T-Bones leading 3-1. This is Sam King at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. The T-Bones, like I said, leading 3-1. We'll see Nolan Johnson returning back for the T-Bones. Well, not returning, making his T-Bones debut. Not really sure why I said that. Out of the 8 hole today. First pitch to Johnson. Takes it to center field. TJ Middlestat on the warning track. Brings it in. Drops it, actually. I got way ahead of myself. Nolan Johnson at second. Likely going to be ruled an error as Nolan Johnson puts a man on second to lead things off. And they do rule it an error on TJ Middlestat as it's in his glove and out. You don't really see that in professional baseball, sometimes not even in college baseball. A dropped fly ball by the outfielder. Granted, TJ Middlestat did have to range back an insane amount. That brings up Sergio Leon. Leon in the first game went 1 for 2, and that one hits him. Johnson advances to third on the wild pitch. Home plate umpire tells him to go back. Third base umpire tells him to go back. Maybe some sort of interference. Todd Kibbe not being very composed on the mound. He gave a 3-run home run in the first inning off Jake Blackwood. And now an E8 puts Nolan Johnson on second and hit by pitch on the first pitch to Sergio Leon. Puts him on first for Tyler Massey. Massey is 0 for 1 in game 2 with a fly out to center field in the first. First pitch to Massey is low and away, 1-0. Kansas City leading 3-1 with 2 on, no outs in the top of the second. Kibbe looks at the runner on second, fires home. Massey, off the end of his bat, sends a high fly ball to left field. That'll drop foul by about a foot. Saldago was about a foot away from it as well. Tyler Massey breathes an air of second chances. 1 ball, 1 strike. As he walks back to the box. Both runners were on their horses. Johnson was almost home. Sergio Leon was at third. So it was probably more of a hit and run situation than anything. 1 ball, 1 strike, no one out. Kibbe fires home low, 2-1. Rambunctious crowd here in Wichita. They haven't liked what they've been seeing from the umpires, from the T-Bones and the Wingnuts. As the 2-1 is down around Massey's feet, but he swings and comes up empty, and that evens the count at 2. The dangerous hitter that played last season in the Colorado Rockies AA affiliate, New Britain. The 2-2. Massey fouls it off the plate and stays alive at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still no one out. Runners on first and second. Whatever wind there is, blowing right to left, not really helping the case up here, or actually just in Wichita in total, with the humidity blistering. Cut it with a knife, or a bat in this sense. The 2-2. Massey chops that down the first baseline. Chavez ranges to his right. The speed of Leon can't make the play at second. And Kibbe doesn't cover first well enough. Tyler Massey shows the speed, and he's on what has to be ruled a single. Be interested to see how they rule that, but it'll be the bases loaded now for Dalton Wheat. Martin Medina will come out, or Brent Dean, I should say, actually. Martin Medina was the catcher in the last game. Now it's Brent Dean. Will come out and talk to Todd Kibbe. They do allow a single to Tyler Massey. He just beat Todd Kibbe to the bag, although the first base umpire did say that the throw pulled him off. We're going to take the single all day. Bases loaded, no one out for Dalton Wheat. First pitch, outside, but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Kansas City leading 3-1 here in the second. 1-1 to Wheat. So far this season, Wheat has had 8 at-bats with the bases loaded and is batting .250 with 5 RBIs. A sacrifice is in order for him if he does choose to take that route. The 1-1 chops it to second. Stringer applies the tag on Massey. Wheat's speed still out at first, but the run does score. Tyler Massey with a smart baseball play on the second base line as he spun around and tried to avoid the tag as long as possible, but Stringer applies it and throws to first. Kansas City does extend their lead to 4-1 after the RBI double play for Dalton Wheat. Sergio Leon does advance to third. He's the lone man left on base now. Brett Wiley steps in now. First pitch, he chops it to Vargas at short. Vargas charging. They're going to say that it was straight off the bat and caught. And Brett Wiley is retired, but not before Kansas City adds another run as they lead 4-1 through 1.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Leading off the bottom of the second for Wichita is Matt Chavez. Kansas City leading 4-1 here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. This is Sam King. First pitch from Josh Hodges. Chavez fouls it straight back. No balls, 1 strike, almost in the press box. Just over the head of the press area, just to my right. Granted, only one man is in there, but he is the man. No balls, 1 strike. Hodges delivers. Just low. Counts even at 1. In the first inning, Chavez did come up to bat, but a wild pitch sent TJ Middlestat towards home. But a wild pitch, 2-1. As that one's on the warning track, Tyler Massey brings it in for the first out. Chavez sent that about a mile in the air, but 10 feet too short. Tyler Massey squeezes it for the first out. Richard Prigatano steps in now for Wichita. Prigatano went 1 for 1 in the first game, as he is now batting .264 with 5 home runs and 36 RBIs. First pitch from the righty Hodges. Outside, 1-0. Kansas City leading 4-1. They've added to their lead in the second. Picked up 3 by 1 swing from Jake Blackwood in the first. Prigatano grounds it almost softly back to the pitcher's mound. Slams down his bat, and a 10-year-old fit for the second out. I'm a guy that's big on body language. When you're a batter and you ground it back to the mound, and then you slam your bat down and yell an expletive, I'm going to have a problem with that. But I'm not going to tell him that because he's a little stronger than I am. As Brennan Saldago steps in now for Wichita. Saldago is 1 for 2 with an RBI in the first game. First pitch to Saldago is outside, 1-0. So far this season, Saldago is batting .276 with 2 home runs and 23 RBIs. The 1-0 is low, 2-0. Hodges thought he had it. To me, it looked low. 2 balls, no strikes, and 2 outs. Kansas City leading 4-1 in the bottom of the second. Saldago sends that in the air down the left field line, but foul. And in the Wichita bullpen. 2-1. Saldago steps in, the 2-1 now. Checks a swing, but goes around, and that evens the count at 2. That breaking ball from Hodges down around the ankles just fooled him. As Hodges looks to do it again with the 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, infield, outfield, playing straight up. And here comes the 2-2. Down around his ankles, he tried to make him do it again. Saldago doesn't bite, and that draws the count full. On deck for Wichita is number 16, Brent Dean. The payoff pitch is fouled back by Saldago. Josh Hodges will have to throw another one. Hodges hasn't had to do that too much as he's at 27 pitches now here in the second. The payoff pitch yet again. Saldago swings and misses. Sit down. Third out, courtesy of Josh Hodges. He sends the Wingnuts down to 1-2-3. And the T-Bones still lead 4-1 through 2 here on the T-Bone Podcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The T-Bones lead 4-1 as we set to begin the third inning. Late Jake Blackwood. Had trouble getting that out. Jake Blackwood will lead things off here in the third. Blackwood is 1 for 1 today in game 2 with that 3-run home run in the first. First pitch strike to Blackwood's in there. No balls, 1 strike. Blackwood's 3-run home run has been the main difference maker today. As that's low, it evens the count at 1. Sent that over the left field fence. That left field fence is about where he hit it, was about 385. I'd say he hit it about 405, 410. The ball was smashed. That's inside, 2-1. A ball just like that. Jake Blackwood's first at bat was a called strike, where it was right around his knees. He even had to get out of the way in time. That time, correct call, 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. Blackwood, huge swing and a miss. He tried to unleash his fury on that ball and comes up empty, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no one out. Kansas City leading 4-1 here in the third. Blackwood sends a 2-2 hopper to Vargas at short. Vargas sends it to Chavez at first now for the first out.
For the T-Bones, tonight's career batter, designated hitter number 7, Anthony Gallos. If he strikes out during this at bat, you can get half price. 20 out, Shinerbach draws.
Stepping into the box now for Kansas City is Anthony Gallos. Gallos was hit by a pitch in the first inning. First pitch to Gallos is inside, 1-0. Gallos strikes out today. Every fan here gets a discounted beer. Part of me wants him to, not strike out as he sends that to deep left field. Saldago will watch that go over the fence for a solo home run. Anthony Gallos says, "Give me back my home run crown," as he hits his 14th of the season. And Kansas City extends their lead to 5-1. Thank you, Todd Kibbe, for the meatball down the middle. Anthony Gallos absolutely crushed that no-doubt home run. Brennan Saldago, all he could do was turn around and watch it go by as he just takes care of business. Anthony Gallos, sayonara. As Starlin Rodriguez steps in now, Rodriguez granted into a fielder's choice in the first inning. First pitch to Rodriguez is outside, 1-0. A 1-0, Kibbe working quick. A sit out to deep left field from Rodriguez. He knows he got all that. Brennan Saldago watches that one go over the fence as well. Back-to-back solo home runs by your Kansas City T-Bones. Starlin Rodriguez hitting his 6th of the season, and that one was hit a mile as well. And Kansas City bringing the power as they feel revenge is on their mind after Wichita snapped their 7-game winning streak in the first, coming back with a vengeance now as they lead 6-1. Back-to-back one-out solo home runs by Anthony Gallos and Starlin Rodriguez. My, oh my. Tell you what, looking down in that T-Bones dugout, the one person that loves it the most, Josh Hodges. As Vladimir Frias will look to keep it going. First pitch to Frias. It's above his head, and Frias walks out to the mound, and we might have something brewing here as he's halfway to the mound. Todd Kibbe, grow up. Bench is clearing here in Wichita. This is pandemonium. No punches thrown. Coaches and umpires doing a fine job keeping the team separated. Kansas City needs to return back to the dugout. Vladimir Frias is heated. Todd Kibbe, why are you throwing at his head? This is baseball. You get off the field. Well, now we're getting dinner and a show. Back-to-back solo home runs. After that, a pitch thrown above Vladimir Frias' head. Anthony Gallos still talking to the umpire saying, "Are you kidding me? You got to protect our guys." That's Todd Kibbe is still on the mound for Wichita. Vladimir Frias has been ejected, it appears, as he's in the T-Bones dugout. Neither team really wanting to return as this has turned into something here in Wichita. John Mazzarelli forced to make a move now. Vladimir Frias will have to walk past the Wichita dugout to return to the clubhouse. He's still not happy, and rightfully so. You got to think about your future. I do not blame Vladimir Frias. Back-to-back home runs. Kibbe is a pitcher that, put it bluntly, is not good. And he's going to feel like he's being hurt personally because he's got the emotions of a 10-year-old apparently. And he feels like he needs to just throw at Vladimir Frias' head. And Frias still talking to the fans. Josh Hodges and Dave Schaub will work to get him back to the dugout. As the pitching coach for Wichita, Luke Robertson, also talking to Frias. Frias will be forced to make the walk back to the clubhouse. Well, at least we're entertained. Back-to-back home runs by Kansas City. And you know what I loved? As soon as Vladimir Frias had a pitch thrown at him, he walked out. Yes, he did. And granted, I don't think you should walk out on that. I don't. But his teammates had his back. This is a team that will not go away. And it's go time. If you try to mess with one of their guys, you got them all. So we're going to see a change now for Kansas City. Todd Kibbe. No words. You gave up 2 meatballs down the middle, and then you feel like you need to throw at a guy's head. That's Little League. When play resumes, it'll be 1-0. When that happens, I do not know. Here's now. Great job by both coaching staffs, except for Luke Robertson of Wichita, who tried to incite more from Vladimir Frias, and the umpire crew for not allowing a single punch to be thrown. Professionalism is not dead, as Tyler Moore will take over for Vladimir Frias.
Your attention now, pitch hitting for the T-Bones, number 8, Tyler Moore.
Be interested to see here Kibbe throws at his head as well. 1 ball, no strikes to Tyler Moore, who in the first game started at catcher and went 0 for 2. He's batting .220 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs this season. 0-1-0, first pitch to Moore. Inside but low. Counts now 2-0. Moore chops that to short. Vargas ranging to his right. Strong throw. Past Chavez. Moore going to second. As Tyler Moore is now on second with 1 out. Todd Kibbe not having himself a day for Wichita. Giving up 2 home runs and then embarrassing himself by throwing at the head of a T-bone. In the Wichita bullpen, we have a right-hander up there throwing. Now steps in Nolan Johnson in his debut for Kansas City. First pitch of Johnson's on the outer half, called strike, no balls, 1 strike. Johnson is 0 for 1 today. Well, he reached on an error, but he's 0 for 1 after TJ Middlestat dropped in center field and he came around to score. Next pitch is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. One out, runner on second. T-Bones leading 6-1. Here in the top of the third. That's low, 2-1. Johnson played his college ball at Minnesota State University in Mankato, Minnesota. And earlier this season, he played for Sioux Falls, where he batted .222 with 4 RBIs, no home runs, and 8 runs scored. Johnson fouls that off the catcher. Counts now 2-2. Tempers feisty here in Wichita. Kansas City bats just as feisty as they lead 6-1 thanks to 3 home runs today. 3-run home run by Jake Blackwood in the first, and 2 so far here in the top of the third, back-to-back by Anthony Gallus and Starlin Rodriguez. 2-2 to Johnson. He reaches out for it and sends a 1-hopper back to the mound, where Kibbe fires to first, his only play there for the second out. Does advance Tyler Moore to third, and Sergio Leon steps in now for Wichita. For Kansas City, I should say. Oops, that's a big blunder. Sergio Leone is hit by a pitch in the second inning, but was ultimately stranded at third. And they do rule that an E6 that allowed Tyler Moore to reach. First pitch to Leone. He fouls it up. Looks like it's going to be in play, and it is caught by Chavez for the third and final out. But not before Kansas City adds two, thanks to solo shots by Anthony Gallus and Starlin Rodriguez. Kansas City leads 6-1 through 2.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King at Lawrence Dumont Stadium as the T-Bones lead 6-1 as we set to begin the bottom of the third. Brent Dean will lead things off for Wichita. In the first game, Dean was the DH and went 0 for 2. He steps in with a .258 average with 3 home runs and 27 RBIs. First pitch to Dean. Right down Broadway, no balls, 1 strike with the fastball. Now in at shortstop for Kansas City is Sergio Leone. At third will be Brett Wiley. Actually, at second is Brett Wiley. At third, it is Tyler Moore. That's inside to Dean, make it 2-1. Those defensive shifts had to happen after Vladimir Frias was tossed from the game. Dean sends that straight up. Tyler Moore is called off by Leone. Leone will squeeze it for the first out.
How about for the wingnut shortstop, number 2, Leo Vargas.
Now Leo Vargas steps in for Wichita. Vargas has been trouble for Kansas City this season as the first pitch is in there. No balls, 1 strike. Vargas launched his first professional home run as part of a 4-run 9th inning on June 6th at Kansas City. That's low, as that's in there. Actually low, I should say, 1-1. Then he homered for the second straight game and drove in a career high the very next day. He drove in 3 at Community America Ballpark. He sends that one to right field. Dalton Wheat lets it hop twice and brings it in. Strong throw back in. Keeps Vargas at first. With 1 out. It got past Leone, who was playing now shortstop, but Tyler Moore with a good backup corrals it. As Christian Stringer, the top of the order, due up now for Wichita. Stringer is 0 for 1 today with a ground out in the first. First pitch to Stringer, just outside, 1-0 from Hodges. Like I said in the first game, Stringer scored a run, but went 1 for 3 out of the leadoff hole. So far today, so far in game 2, he's 0 for 1. Kansas City playing with a chip on their shoulders now. Vladimir Frias' head was tossed at in the last half inning. Hodges takes his time. The umpire has to call time as Hodges is taking too long. Stringer fouls that back off the head of Nolan Johnson. Counts now 1-1. One ball, one strike, one out for Christian Stringer with the runner on first. Hodges comes set, righty versus lefty. Hodges being the righty. And fires home. Stringer sends it out to left center. Massey ranged to his right. Rodriguez ranged to his left. Massey calls off Rodriguez and brings it in for the second out. That's usually how you'll see that, as every time there's a play, left center, right center, center fielder's always got the advantage. That's not really the right word I'm looking for, but the advantage, I guess, works. Because, I mean, they always have the final say. Maybe that would have been a better way to say it from the beginning, as Zach Cox steps in with 2 down, and the T-Bones leading 6-1 with the runner on first. Cox doubled and scored in the first. He's 1 for 1. First pitch to Cox. Right down Broadway, fastball, no balls, and 1 strike. As the night sky has opened up here in Wichita, the Wichita downtown skyline now lighting up. The 0-1 in the dirt, blocked by Johnson. Counts now even at 1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners on first. T-Bones leading 6-1 in the bottom of the third. Hodges comes set and fires the 1-1 home. Again, right down Broadway with the breaking ball, 1-2. Hodges has Cox right where he wants him, but Zach Cox, not really the batter that you want to toy with. Neither is the next guy, Brent Cleveland, so you just kind of have to attack Zach Cox right now. Cox chops that to Leon at short. Leon fires to Blackwood, just brings him off the bag, and he's on now with an E6. Blackwood thought he applied the tag, but he does not. Now there's 2 outs. Puts runners on first and second now for Brent Cleveland, the former big leaguer. And Cleveland's very first career game, he started at center field. That was clear back on July 30th, 2006. His first catch in the field is intended to be a sacrifice fly by Minnesota catcher Joe Mauer. That ball is a splintered bat past a diving Leon. That's going to score a run as Rodriguez gets it in there to Leon. As a 2-out RBI single from Cleveland brings it on home. T-Bone still leading 6-2. TJ Middlestat now stepping in for Wichita. Middlestat hit an RBI triple his first time up in the first inning. As if you look at it from a whole day's perspective, he's only a single away from the cycle. In this game, he's 1 for 1. Runners on first and second, 2 down. T-Bones leading 6-2 here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Middlestat. Sent foul into the crowd. No balls, 1 strike. Hodges comes set. Johnson set up outside. Hodges with the amazing fastball. The power fastball is fouled off by Middlestat. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. For a Tuesday night, this crowd at Lawrence Dumont, fairly respectable. Knowing their wingnuts are right in the playoff hunt, they have a very secure lead over the Laredo Lemurs in the South Division. The 0-2 with 2 down. Middlestat fouls that into the crowd in the same spot. Sounds like a fan made a grab. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. T-Bones leading 6-2 in the bottom of the third. And Middlestat goes down swinging for the third and final out. Wichita adds a run in the third, but Kansas City still leads 6-2 through 3 complete here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. T-Bones lead 6-2 as we start the fourth inning. We already have a new pitcher into the game for Wichita, Mike Devine. That closes the door on Todd Kibbe. Kibbe threw 3 innings of embarrassing baseball, giving up 5 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 1 walked, and no strikeouts. First pitch to Tyler Massey is low, but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Mike Devine, a graduate of the Virginia Military Institute, originally from Springdale, Pennsylvania. He's played every year in the Frontier League, as that's low, 1-1. Playing earlier this season with Lake Erie, went 7-6 with a 4.56 ERA. In 81 innings pitched, struck out 87 while walking 18. Massey sends it out to left field. Saldago bringing it on the line drive for the first out.
If the Wingnuts win at home, you win at Applebee's. The Wingnuts win, you can pick up a coupon as you exit the stadium for a half price
Devine was signed by the Wingnuts today, and he was an all-star for the Lake Erie Crushers earlier this year in his second season with the club. He spent his entire pro career prior to the Wingnuts with 3 teams in the Frontier League. He made 90 appearances in his 4 seasons at Virginia Military Institute. First pitch that Dalton Wheat is outside, 1-0. Wheat is 1 for 2 today with a single and scored in the first, and he grounded in a double play but scored a run, picking up the RBI in the second. Next pitch is outside, the Wheat, 2-0. Wichita having to go into their bullpen early this game. You don't want to do that on the first day of a series as Wheat fouls that back. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out. T-Bones leading 6-2 here in the 4th. Well, Dalton Wheat seems like the type of player that's going to be sending a ball up into my press box. I got every intention that's going to happen. Brandon Tierney did it last time we were here. That's the 2-1, outside, 3-1. And Dalton Wheat nearly hit one into my booth in Laredo, somehow. And then he nearly hit one into my booth in Joplin. 3-1, Dalton Wheat. Line diving grab by Christian Stringer, throws to first and retires Wheat on the tip your cap impressive play for the second out. Brett Wiley steps in now for Kansas City. He walked and scored in the first. And then he flew out, popped out to second base in the second. He's 0 for 1 today. First pitch to Wiley. Inside, called strike, no balls, 1 strike. The 0-1 fouled in the left field line in the Wichita bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes. And Wiley fouls it off his foot. He's crumbled down on the floor in pain. The trainer will come out and talk to him. That appears like it went off his ankle, and Wiley, rolling around, steps on, not putting too much pressure on his left foot, using the bat as a cane. That man is in some pain. That would be the worst news for John Mazzarelli. He's already had to deplete his bench with Vladimir Frias being ejected from this game. Tyler Moore is now playing third. Trying to think of who would play second, and Wiley had to come out. Knowing Wiley, he's not going to allow himself to come out. He's a tough old ball player. John Mazzarelli, I know as soon as it happened, the worst case scenario went through his head. He immediately thought, who can I put there? You would almost have to burn the DH off Anthony Gallus. That's a worst case scenario right there, because that means the pitcher has to hit the rest of the game. You don't want to put your pitcher in that scenario. Wiley's still not putting much pressure on. It takes a practice swing. I'm not sure if he's telling the truth that he's fine or if he's just told the trainer to go away. Or actually he's fine. There's 3 scenarios there. Telling by his body language, he's still hurt. We're going to resume play. It'll be no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. T-Bones leading 6-2 in the 4th. Wiley, not a guy that can get hurt for Kansas City. He's been a very important part of the T-Bones turnaround. The 0-2. Inside on him, 1-2. And that's what you expect from Mike Devine in that situation. That's what you expect from any pitcher. A guy that fouls something off his foot, throw it low and inside. You got to freak out. It's just like a guy that, you hit him the first at-bat. As he fouls that off the catcher, from my first thought, I thought he fouled it off his foot again. Just off the catcher, counts 1-2. But you got to throw it inside on the guy if he's got hit by something. Zone foul ball, if you hit him the first time around, whatever. He's going to jump back a little bit. The 1-2. Wiley goes down swinging on a pitch that was low and inside for the 3rd out.
And that's another Nick Sportigood strikeout. Nick Sportigood.
Kansas City goes down 1-2-3 in the fourth, but they still lead 6-2. That's the first inning they've yet to score in. And the T-Bones lead 6-2 through 3.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. T-Bones lead 6-2 as we get set to begin the bottom of the fourth. This is Sam King coming to you from Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Missed one pitch as I came in a little late. It's 2-0 to Matt Chavez. Not two important pitches. So far today, Chavez is 0 for 1 after flying out to center field in the second. The 2-0. Hodges gets him to pop straight up to left field. That ball is carrying. Starlin Rodriguez will squeeze it, barely having to move for the first out. That brings up Richard Prigatano. Prigatano is 0 for 1 today after grounding back to the pitcher in the first. Again, I know it said it last inning, but the new defensive lineup for the T-Bones is Tyler Moore at third and Sergio Leona short after Vladimir Frias' ejection. First pitch to Prigatano. Breaking ball low, 1-0 with 1 out. T-Bones leading 6-2 in the bottom of the fourth. The 1-0. In the inner half, called strike, no 1-1. Richard Prigatano, a dangerous hitter for Pete Rose Jr. and his staff. You can put them all over. We've seen him in the 4-hole, now the 6-hole. That's inside. 2-1. Scoreboard says 3-0. I'm going to go ahead and disagree. 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. Prigatano goes down for it and fouls it off and stays alive with the 2-2. The old man made the catch and handed it to the kid that's walking around taking care of people's trash. Hopefully that kid doesn't throw it away. The 2-2. Prigatano lines that over Leon's head at short, and he's on with a 1-out bloop single in the left field. And Brennan Saldago steps in now for the Wingnuts. Saldago is 0 for 1 today. He struck out swinging in the second. He comes on now, the runner on first, 1 out. Infield playing at double play depth, but straight up. Outfield playing straight up. Corner outfielders here in Wichita, they leave a bunch of space in the corners. But Dalton Wheat and Starlin Rodriguez know how to cover some area. First pitch to Saldago in on his feet. He gets out of the way in time, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, runner on first. Here comes the 1-0. On the outer half, called strike, counts even at 1. And you wonder what having Nolan Johnson back there does for Josh Hodges. The two have never played together. There has to be some sort of camaraderie between pitchers and catchers. Catchers, I talked to John Mazzarelli, and I don't know if I was kissing his butt or what, but I told him that catchers are just the quarterbacks of the baseball team. They direct the traffic and have a new one. Just add something different. So that's called strike. 1-2 to Saldago. Could be bad, it could be good. Nolan Johnson has looked good so far. Spitting right in with his new teammates. Pergitano calls time on first. Having some trouble with his equipment. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first. T-Bone's leading 6-2 in the bottom of the 4th. Hodges gets a sign from Johnson and fires home with the 1-2. Saldago fouls it off just barely. Johnson thought he could grab it, but he doesn't. Count remains 1-2. Home plate umpire doing what home plate umpires do. Thinking that one off Johnson's hand. He brushes off the clean plate. Makes it cleaner or whatever. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on first. T-Bone's trailing. I keep saying trailing. Leading 6-2 as Hodges checks on the runner first. Pergitano dives back safely. One-two. Brennan Saldago's sit down young man heater blown right by him. For the second out, he goes down swinging. And with 2 down, Brent Dean steps in. Dean is 0 for 1 after popping out to shortstop and the 3rd. He comes on with the runner on first and 2 down. His team trailing by 4, 6-2. In the 4th. Perfect. First pitch to Dean. He swings that 1 letter high and comes up empty. No balls, 1 strike. Kansas City has 5 hits today. Wichita 6 hits. Wichita has 2 errors. Kansas City has no errors. Kansas City leads 6-2 thanks to 3 home runs. 2 solo, 1 3-run. Hodges comes with the 0-1. Right at the knees. Fastball, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hodges expecting that deadly slider. He's got the power fastball. If he goes power fastball here, I won't be surprised. If he goes slider, I definitely won't be surprised. Here comes the 0-2. Power fastball foul tipped into the glove of Johnson for the 3rd out as Josh Hodges picks up 2 strikeouts. Gives up 1 hit, but they strand that man on. Kansas City still leading 6-2 through 4 complete here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The T-Bones lead 6-2. We'll see the 3, 4, and 5 hitters do up for the T-Bones: Blackwood, Gallus, and Rodriguez. The power hitters for the T-Bones: all have home runs today. You don't lose too many games when that's the case.
First baseman number 10, Jake Blackwood.
Wichita bullpen playing around and bringing ball onto the field. We'll wait for that to come off for Jake Blackwood to step in. So far today, Blackwood is 1 for 2, but, 3-run home run in the first. First pitch to Blackwood right at the letters, called strike, no balls, 1 strike. Blackwood grounded out to shortstop last time we saw him in the third, but a 3-run home run is the big difference maker today with the T-Bones leading 6-2 in the fifth. Ball's outside, 1-1. Blackwood just gets under it and bloops it into left field. Vargas couldn't get to it as he was clear in left field. And Jake Blackwood's on with a leadoff single. Second hit of the game for the bearded RBI machine.
How about it for the T-Bones? It's tonight's clear batter, the designated hitter number 7, Anthony Gallus. Strikes out during this at bat. It's half price, 20-ounce Shiner Bock draws for $3.50. 10 minutes following the strikeout.
Now Anthony Gallus steps in. Gallus, no balls, 1 strike. Gallus is 1 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch in the first and launched a solo home run in the third. He comes on now with Blackwood on first and no one out. Here comes the 0-1. Way inside, and the count's now even at 1. Kansas City leading 6-2 here in the fifth. Each team with 6 hits. Wichita has 2 errors. Kansas City, no errors. The 1-1. Gallus sends it out to right center. Middle stat, calling off the right fielder, squeezes it for the first out.
KGSO 1410 is the home for Wingbats baseball. KGSO 1410
And now Starlin Rodriguez steps in for the T-Bones. Rodriguez is 1 for 2 today. Grounded into fielder's choice in the first. Launched a solo home run in the third as part of that back-to-back solo home run outing in the third inning for the T-Bones. First pitch to Rodriguez. Outside, called strike on the slider, 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 yet again, low, and that'll even the count at 1 with the runner on first, 1 out. T-Bones leading 6-2 in the fifth. Rodriguez ropes that down the left field line, just foul by a matter of inches. Counts now 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on first. Devine comes set and delivers. Rodriguez gets under it and pops it straight up. Dean, barely having to move, brings it in behind the plate for the second out. That brings up Tyler Moore. Moore entered the game for Vladimir Frias after Frias was ejected in the third inning. Moore then reached on an E6 by Leo Vargas. Was ultimately stranded at third. First pitch to Moore. Right down Broadway, no balls, 1 strike, no swing. Runners still on first after Jake Blackwood single to get things going here in the fifth. The 0-1. Outside, Moore wanted to swing out the slider, but he chooses not to. Good choice. 1-1, 2 outs. T-Bones leading 6-2 in the fifth. One yet again, inside, 2-1. Tyler Moore, 2 straight balls. 2-1 is on the outer half. The slider just hits the corner. That evens the count at 2. Neither team out of this game. And you can see it in the dugouts. Wichita, yeah, they're here. Kansas City all up on the railing. They know how important this game is. The 2-2, more fouls it back and keeps the count even at 2. Kansas City had a 7-game winning streak snapped in the first game of this doubleheader. Again, they lost 3-0. Then they picked up 3 in the first. If you tell me that's not revenge, I don't know what revenge is. There's a chance I don't know what revenge is, or talking for that matter. So that's inside on Moore, and that draws the count full with 2 down. Jake Blackwood on first. On deck for Kansas City is number 44, Nolan Johnson. Jake Blackwood will be running. That'll help the T-Bones cause, if anything's a gapper. Moore comes set. Here comes the payoff pitch. He chops it to Vargas at short. Vargas charging. Fires to first for the 3rd and final out. As Kansas City gets 1 hit, they leave that man on, but they still lead 6-2 through 4.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The T-Bones lead 6-2. So we head to the home half of the 5th. Leading off for Wichita. The top will be Leo Vargas, followed by the top of the order, Stringer and Cox.
Shortstop number 2, Leo Vargas.
Leo Vargas is 1 for 1 today. He singled and scored in the 3rd. He has found out how to hit this T-Bones pitching somehow all season. First pitch to Vargas on the inner half, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. And that's past Johnson, way outside, 1-1. And now begin my segment that I really enjoy. I don't know if anybody does. You can let me know if you don't. I mean, I can stop it. A 1-1. Right down Broadway, 1-2. This day in baseball history. On August 16, 2009, Derek Jeter with his 3-for-4 performance in the Yankees' 10-3 loss in Seattle as Vargas gets that pass to diving Tyler Moore down the left field line. That's in the corner. Rodriguez still getting to it. Vargas rounding second. The throw in. Vargas way off second. Nobody at second base, though. He's on to the leadoff double. That'll bring up Christian Stringer, who's 0 for 2 today. When he went 3-for-4 in the Yankees' 10-3 loss in Seattle, Derek Jeter passed Luis Aparicio for most hits ever compiled by a Major League shortstop. The New York infielder collecting career hits number 2,673 and 2,674, his first 2 at-bats, surpasses the Hall of Famer's total. It's been his 18-year career ending in 1973 with the White Sox, Orioles, and Red Sox. First pitch to Stringer, inside, 1-0. Funny that I just talked about a shortstop picking up a hit or picking up career hits that passes for the most ever for a shortstop, and a shortstop just picked up a hit. I don't know if I just jinxed them or what. Really hope I didn't. Stringer fouls it off his body, counts even at 1. But Derek Jeter, without an argument, and I'm sure I might get some email about this, is the greatest shortstop to ever play the game of baseball. If you have your hate mail, you can send it to kingsam145@gmail.com, and I'll send you back some stats that support my claim. I'm sure it was just as well for Derek Jeter to beat a former Red Sox record, the longtime Yankees captain. Christian Stringer grounds that to Wiley softly. Wiley to Blackwood for the first out. Runner does advance to third. That brings up Zach Cox, who's 1 for 2 today with a run scored. He reached on an error by the shortstop in the third. On this day in 2002, the 1955 Little League team from Charleston, South Carolina is honored when 14 players from the Cannon Street YMCA Little League, 47 years after being banned from their own state's postseason tournament due to the color of their skin, are invited to Williamsport to be recognized at the opening ceremonies of the Little League Baseball World Series at Volunteer Stadium. As Zach Cox sends out to deep left field, Rodriguez will bring it on the track, and no throw, as Vargas will jog home and cut the lead in half. So T-Bones lead 6-3 still. That brings up Brent Cleveland, who's 1 for 2 today with an RBI. Those guys are invited to the Little League Baseball World Series at Volunteer Stadium. At the time of their banishment, Little League officials informed the other 61 all-white South Carolina leagues that the winner of their state finals would not be permitted to participate in the tournament because of the refusal to play in a duty-franchised league. There is a documentary on this. It's called Baseball Dreams Deferred. When this team, 47 years later, finds their way back to the Little League World Series after 1955, they were banned due to the color of their skin. No balls, 1 strike to Brent Cleveland with 2 down. On this day in 1970s, Cleveland fouls that up and out of play. Actually, sliding Blackwood as that came back into play. Blackwood sliding on his backside for the third out near the T-Bones dugout. He ran about 90 feet, then slides on his back for the third and final out. I had one more to say. I'll say it now. On August 16, 1970, Milton Mason, who in late June had vowed not to leave his team-sponsored trailer on top of the County Stadium scoreboard until the Brewers drew a home crowd of 40,000, ends his 40-day boycott, descending from a 30-foot rope when 44,387 fans show up for Bat Day. Before his death in 1973, the retired aviation engineer is recognized by the team as the original Bernie Brewer, and in tribute to the devoted fan, a costume character with the same name becomes Milwaukee's official mascot the same year. Gotta love baseball. We saw Jake Blackwood slide and grab, and Bernie Brewer is another reason to love this great sport as the T-Bones lead 6-2 through 5, 6-3 I should say actually, through 5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King, company from Lawrence, the Dumont Stadium in Wichita, where the T-Bones are still clinging to a 6-3 lead. As we head to the 6th inning, we have a new pitcher in the game for Wichita. Meet Chase Johnson. Nolan Johnson will be the first one to greet him. So far today, Johnson is 0 for 2 today, but he reached on an E8 in the second and came around to score. First pitch to Johnson's outside, 1-0. The day is done for Mike Devine. He pitched 2 scoreless innings, giving him 1 hit, no walks, and a strikeout. Efficient day at the office for him. Johnson fouls it off the end of his bat down the right field line, and out of play, the count's even at 1. Into the game now for Wichita. It's a 6'5", right-handed pitcher from South Mountain Community College in Phoenix, Arizona. My old stomping ground, Chase Johnson. Johnson was drafted out of South Mountain Community College by the Philadelphia Phillies in the 21st round as Nolan Johnson comes up swinging an empty 1-2 of the 2009 draft out of South Mountain by the Phillies in the 21st round, 2009. You got the picture. And then he played with Amarillo, Fargo, Grand Prairie, Fort Worth, Winnipeg, Wichita, Sioux Falls, now Wichita. Spending earlier this season with Sioux Falls. He faces his former catcher, Nolan Johnson, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So far this season, he's 4-1 with a 3.38 ERA. In 32 appearances, he struck out 35 while walking 22. In 37 and a third, he's got 3 saves and make that 36 strikeouts as Johnson goes down swinging for the first out here in the 6th. That brings up Sergio Leon. He was hit by a pitch in the second and popped out to first, in the third. He's 0 for 2. Chase Johnson, the former ACCAC pitcher out of South Mountain Community College. No balls, 1 strike to Sergio Leon. I spent my time in college at Arizona Western Community College in Yuma, Arizona. They were in the same conference as South Mountain. Steve Swingle, who was formerly with the T-Bones, he's played at Mesa Community College, another team in the ACCAC. That's inside the Leon, 1-1. There's been a number of guys that have gone on to play professional baseball, whether it be independent league or major league or minor league, whatever you want to say, that have been in the ACCAC, I should say. I can't even get that right. 28-year-old out of Phoenix, Arizona. The 1-1. Sergio Leon swinging on a breaking ball that fooled him, 1-2. Leon fouls it back and stays live, 1-2. And Leon goes down swinging back-to-back strikeouts for Chase Johnson. Second out of the 6th inning. T-Bone still leading 6-3 here in the 6th as Tyler Massey, top of the order, steps in. So far today, Tyler Massey, well, at least in game 2, is 1 for 3. Chase Johnson was traded to Wichita from Sioux Falls for cash on June 3rd. No balls, 1 strike from Johnson. He earned the win for Brent Cleveland's walk-off single on June 30th versus Texas. Retired all 8 and faced. He earned the win in relief on July 13th versus Joplin. That's sent right back at the middle. That hits him. Tyler Massey with speed. He'll reach on the single. That ball hit him about on the left hip, and he appears to be fine. He may be looking like he's fine, but those don't tickle.
Right fielder number 9, Dalton Wheat.
That brings up Dalton Wheat. Dalton Wheat has been productive out of the 2-hole for the T-Bones, as he's 1 for 3 with a run scored in game 2. Comes on now, the runner on first and 2 down. T-Bones leading 6-3 in the 6th. First pitch to Wheat. Ropes it down to right field. That's good 3-hopper. Tyler Massey has to stay at second. It'll be runners on first and second with 2 down. Tyler Massey and Dalton Wheat each picking up their second hits at the top of the order for Brett Wiley. Wiley has been hitless today in the first and second game combined. Don't expect that to stick around. One of the better hitters in the league, top 10 in the league, with his .321 average. He was walked and scored in the first. He scored as part of that Jake Blackwood 3-run home run in the first. First pitch strike to Brett Wiley. He's not sure what that was. Neither am I. During Chase Johnson's times in Wichita, he also played here in 2014. I guess I should have added that clearance. As that's a called strike, Brett Wiley still not sure where it is. 0-2. He made 8 appearances for Wichita in 2014 and posted a 1.12 ERA and picked up a save. Pete Rose Jr. sticks him in situations like this, and he's been having a pretty good year doing it. Here comes the 0-2. Outside to Wiley, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on first and second. T-Bones leading 6-3 here in the 6th. Here comes the 1-2. Wiley fouls it off to stay alive, 1-2. And amazing, that foul ball had a sponsor. I wonder if they picked that ball out of the bunch. Obviously, I'm joking. I don't know if many people can read my sarcasm. I'm pretty bad at it. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on first and second. Here it comes. Wiley pops it in the air. Vargas looking for it. He'll call everybody off and squeeze it for the 3rd out. T-Bones pick up 2 hits, but they strand them both on as they lead 6-3 through 5.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The T-Bones lead 6-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. TJ Middlestead, the former T-Bone, will lead things off for the Wingnuts. First pitch to Middlestead is high. 1-0 from Hodges. So far today, TJ Middlestead is 1 for 2 with an RBI in Game 2. For the whole day, it's just a single shy of the cycle, not that it would really count, as Middlestead fouls that over the left field bleachers. 1-1. TJ Middlestead, a fan favorite here in Wichita. He's rained down a let's go TJs. Well, let's go PJs. Maybe those kids want to go to bed. The 1-1. High and outside, 2-1. I attempted to crack a joke there. It's just as bad as my broadcasting. 2-1. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. TJ Middlestead just absolutely powered by with a fastball from Josh Hodges. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no one out. Here comes the 2-2 yet again from Hodges. Breaking ball, ring him up. Sit down, TJ Middlestat for the first out. Josh Hodges picking up the strikeout in the 6th. And that brings up Matt Chavez, who's 0 for 2 today, with a fly out to center field and left field. Let's see if he can't complete the hat trick, flying out to right field. First pitch to Chavez. Swing and a miss. No balls, 1 strike off the chest of Nolan Johnson. Lawrence Dumont Stadium was packed last week when the National Baseball Congress World Series was played here. As Chavez fouls that back, 0-2.
Everybody clap your hands.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Matt Chavez. For some reason, I couldn't get that out. Yeah. The 0-2. Just outside. Good pitch from Josh Hodges, trying to get him to swing at something just outside the zone. Does not bite. 1-2. Defensive change for Kansas City. Catching now is Tyler Moore. Now playing third is Nolan Johnson, as that's chopped fouled on the third baseline. Sergio Leon still at shortstop. So everything is straight up, except Tyler Moore's now catching and Nolan Johnson's playing third. The 1-2. Chavez rolls over and sends it to Leon at short. Leon, strong throw, high, past Blackwood. And I feel like that was the fault of Leon and Nolan Johnson, not to knock either one of them. But Nolan Johnson, the inexperienced third baseman, range clear to his left. He wanted it. And Leon, the shortstop, gets those balls. So Leon, range to his right. He ended up taking it. And the throw was just very high. As Chavez reaches. Richard Prigatano now on. He's 1 for 2 today. And they give Matt Chavez the single. Alrighty then. Prigatano is 1 for 2 today. Like I said, first pitch to Prigatano. High and inside. 1-0. Wing nuts. Not a fan of that. Neither was the fans. Guy like Prigatano, you got to pitch him inside. That's going to happen sometimes. Can of corn. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Runner on first. T-Bone's leading 6-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Here comes the 1-0. It's high, 2-0. Josh Hodges, something not quite right. Tyler Moore will come out and talk to him. Action in the T-Bones bullpen. So it appears Mark Haynes is getting loose and ready. So this game will also go the 7 innings due to doubleheader rules. Kansas City shuts him down here. Mark Haynes would come in to shut the door in the bottom of the 7th. 2 balls, no strikes. Prigatano swing and miss. 2-1 with 1 out. Low and inside. 3-1. Moore tried to frame it, but it was low and inside. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, runner on first. T-Bones leading 6-3, bottom of the 6th. Here it comes, a 3-1. Prigatano sends it in the air to center field. Massey still retreating. He's at the wall and squeezes it on the warning track for the 2nd out. That ball turned him around, and he made the athletic play, catching it for out number 2. Now batting for Wichita is Brennan Saldago. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. Josh Hodges looks to complete the hat trick for Saldago. T-Bones dugout telling Mark Haynes to hurry up with his routine. Bill Selby standing at the top of the steps. First pitch to Saldago, high and outside, 1-0. Josh Hodges sitting at 88 pitches so far. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball low, called strike to Saldago. Counts now even at 1 with 2 outs and the runner on first. T-Bones leading 6-3, bottom of the 6th. Kansas City dropped the first game of this doubleheader 3-0, but they picked up 3 alone in the first inning of Game 2. Revenge on their minds. Low and outside to Saldago now. He's ahead in the count, 2-1.
Defensive substitutions for the T-Bones. Now catching.
With the way the T-Bones...
Third base, Tyler Moore. And now for the third base, catcher position, number 44, Nolan Johnson.
You'd have to think that if Saldago gets on, Mark Haynes will be coming on. Fastball in there, evens the count at 2 on the lower inside corner. Mark Haynes getting loose. Josh Hodges looking to complete the hat trick against Saldago. Here comes the 2-2. Saldago swinging and miss. Get your hats out. That's the hat trick for Saldago for the 3rd and final out. As Kansas City leads 6-3. That'll likely end the day for Josh Hodges. Wichita picks up a hit, but they strand that man on as they still lead, as the T-Bones still lead 6-3 through 6 complete here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce costs and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. As we get set to begin the top of the 7th inning. Kansas City has 3 outs to extend their 6-3 lead. As yes, both games today in this doubleheader will go 7 innings. First pitch to Jake Blackwood is fouled back. No balls, 1 strike. So far today, Jake Blackwood is 2 for 3 with a run scored and 3 RBIs in Game 2. We have a new pitcher in the game for Wichita, Gage Smith. And Blackwood sends Smith into left field. He's on with his 3rd hit of the day to lead off the 7th with the single. Gage Smith entering the game for Wichita closes the door on Chase Johnson. Johnson's pitched 1 scoreless inning, 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. Gage Smith into the game for Wichita, the former Florida State Seminole. First pitch to Anthony Gallus in there, no balls, 1 strike. Anthony Gallus, the former Kent State. Ooh, I know this one. The Kent State, he's not a Zip, that's Akron. Kent State Golden Flashes, there it is. Quiz me. The 0-1 from the submarine pitcher Smith is sent out to left field, and Gallus picks up a hit. Played station to station now, runners on first and second. That brings up Starlin Rodriguez. Inning is moving quickly. Rodriguez enters this at bat 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI thanks to a solo home run in the 3rd. Gage Smith was signed by the Wingnuts today. He worked 26 innings pitched in 18 games in the Milwaukee organization, high A and double A, earlier this year with a 2.42 ERA. He pitched for parts of 3 seasons, as that's in there, no balls, 1 strike, with Detroit on a 2.89 ERA in 55 outings. He was selected in the 25th round of the 2014 draft by Detroit out of Florida State, and he was known mostly coming out of Florida State, not for his pitching, so that's outside 1-1, but for an amazing mustache he had. Florida State, very successful baseball program, so he got a lot of TV time, and he had an awesome mustache. That was the whole story. Pretty good story, I think. Yeah. As I hear people tuning out now. Rodriguez shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's in there anyways. 1-2. During Gage Smith in Florida State, which was 2010 through 2014, 5 seasons, he went 14-4 with a 2.56 ERA. Made 114 appearances, no starts, picked up 5 saves, and 158 innings pitched. He struck out 95 while walking 31. That's inside to Rodriguez. That evens the count now at 2. He's yet to have a season where his ERA is at 4. The closest he got, I want to say it was earlier this year, but in only 9 appearances, he had a 3.32 ERA with the high affiliate for the Tigers. As Rodriguez grounds out to third, Cox to Stringer, Stringer to Chavez for the 5-4-3 double play. Jake Blackwood advances to third. And that brings up Tyler Moore. Moore entered the game for Vladimir Frias, and so far today, Tyler Moore is 0 for 2. Moore also started at catcher today in the first game, where he also went 0 for 2. Comes on now with a runner on third, 2 outs. T-Bone's leading 6-3 here on the top of the 7th. First pitch from Smith. Breaking ball in there, no balls, 1 strike. Gage Smith, not necessarily a submarine pitcher, but it's easily a low 3/4 delivery. Tyler Moore sends it to right field, foul into the T-Bone's bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2, 2 down, runner on third. T-Bone's leading 6-3 in the 7th. Gage Smith delivers. Moore pops that into shallow left center. Middlestat on his horse brings it in and saves the run. As Kansas City still leads 6-3, we'll see Mark Haynes into the game for Kansas City, looking to pick up a save. As Kansas City has the 3-run lead, we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Wichita has 3 outs to pick up three or more runs. Hopefully they don't. We'll see the T-Bones try to hold on to it as they lead 6-3 through 6.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. As we're on to begin the bottom of the 7th, the final inning in this doubleheader, we'll see Mark Haynes into the game for Kansas City. Kansas City's lone all-stars on to shut things down. He's currently 4th in the American Association with saves with 14. In 3rd place is Frankie Reed of Wichita, and he extended his reach over Haynes, was picking up his 17th in the first game. First pitch from Haynes is outside, 1-0. Mark Haynes comes in to shut the door on Josh Hodges' day. His productive day is how I should word that. In 6 innings, he gave 3 runs, all earned, 8 hits, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. Brent Dean on as he's ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. So far in game 2, Dean is 0 for 2 today. In the first game, he went 0 for 2 as the DH. The 2-0, low and away, and Haynes is behind now, 3 balls and no strikes. Last time out was August 13th for Mark Haynes in Laredo, where he pitched 1 inning in a 7-3 T-Bones at Laredo and at Kansas City against Laredo. There you go. That's way inside on Dean. He walks him on 4 pitches. He did not pick up the save, but went 1 innings, no runs, 1 hit, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. He picked up a win the time before that on August 10th against Lincoln in a 4-3 T-Bones win. Like I said, he picked up the win in 1 inning. He went scoreless, 1 hit, 2 walks, no strikeouts. His last save came on August 8th at home against Lincoln, where he pitched a third of an inning, walking one, and like I said, picked up the save. Checks on Dean at first, Dean back safely. There was a stretch this season where Haynes picked up 7 straight saves in 7 straight appearances. First pitch to Leo Vargas. In there, no balls, 1 strike. Like I said, Haynes was the lone all-star for Kansas City representing the North team. Did not have the decision. Picked 1 inning. No walks, no strikeouts. Productive day at the office farm for the native of Sugar Land, Texas. Former Rice University Owl. The 0-1 runner on first. Vargas swing and miss as that heater's blown by him. 0-2. Kansas City looking to pick up their first win against Wichita this season. They're 0 for 5 to this point. 0 for 6, I should say, actually, to this point. Haynes comes set. Checks on Dean at first. Dean back standing. Elsewhere in the American Association, there were 3 doubleheaders today. Sioux Falls won the first one against Gary, 6-0. St. Paul dropped the first one to Winnipeg, 9-11. Kansas City also dropped the first game of theirs, 3-0. Haynes checks on Dean at first again. Dean back standing. At Lewis and Clark Park, they're in the top of the 10th of that scoreless game against Fargo and Sioux City. Ugh. Scoreless in the 10th. At Unitrade Stadium in Laredo in the top of the 8th, Texas has a 3-0 lead over Laredo. At Joe Becker Stadium in Joplin, Lincoln leads 8-4 in the top of the 9th. At U.S. Steel Yards, Sioux Falls is trailing Gary 5-1 in the second game. At Shaw Park in Winnipeg, Winnipeg is leading 3-1 over St. Paul, 3-1. As Leo Vargas, sit down, young man, for the first out, goes down swinging. Christian Stringer steps on now for Wichita. He's 0 for 3 today with 2 groundouts and a flyout. Comes on now with a runner on first, 1 out. T-Bone's leading 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Stringer. Inside-ish. 1-0. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Here it comes. Right down Broadway, evens the count at 1. During Mark Haynes' 3 seasons at Rice University, he went 3-0 with a 4.11 ERA. He made 3 starts and in 51 appearances, picked up 4 saves. In 92 innings pitched, he struck out 49 while walking 29. Stringer shows bunt, fouls it back. It's now 1-2. John Mazzarelli happy with that. This Stringer pretty much just gave him one. Haynes played last season with Amarillo and Laredo. 3 appearances with Laredo, 17 with Amarillo. He had made about 90 appearances with Laredo from 2012 to 2015. But in 2015, so last season, he checks on Dean at first, Dean backsliding. He went 1-1 with a 7.20 ERA. In 20 appearances, which came out to 20 innings pitched, he struck out 14 on walking 12 in his return from Tommy John surgery. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on first. They play the snoring sound here. Mark Haynes not trying to allow anything for Brent Dean over there. Here comes the 1-2. Stringer sends that in the air to left. Starlin Rodriguez literally not having to move. Squeezes it for the second out. There's my favorite walk-up song in the entire league. Smallmouth bass on the... I just broke some speakers. Zach Cox steps in for Wichita. Cox is 2 for 2 in game 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Comes on now with a runner on first. 2 down. T-Bone's leading 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th. 1 more out ends it. Slow clap ensues. Haynes comes set. First pitch. Right down Broadway. No balls, 1 strike. Fastball from Haynes. They do not have a speed gun here in Wichita. I'd say that was easily 120 miles an hour. Haynes comes set with the 0-1. 2 outs, runner on first. Runner goes. Cox fouls it down the left field line. That had some distance on it, too. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. Kansas City leading 6-3. T-Bones have 10 hits today. Wichita's 8. T-Bones, no errors. Wichita, 2 errors. 1 more strike answer from Haynes. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. He wants a new ball, and why not for the special occasion? Looking to pick up his 15th save of the season. Trey Haynes would be the best of his career. 14 already is. The previous years, in 2013 with Laredo, he picked up 7 saves, I should say. That was his career high, having his best professional season. Comes out the 0-2, runner goes again. It's high. No throw from Moore. Counts now 1-2. They ruled that They really ruled that a stolen base? I guess so. Ho hum. That stolen base for Brent Dean, 14th of the season. As Cox fouls that straight back into the suites. Hopefully everybody's all right. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Haynes comes set with the 1-2. Runner on second, 2 outs. T-Bones leading 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th. 1 strike ends it. Here it comes. Low and outside. Haynes thought that was his pitch, but he just held on to it a little long. Counts now even at 2. Haynes at 16 pitches in this outing. Kansas City not going deep into their bullpen today, which is a good sign in 2 games. Wichita, on the other hand, pitched like 77 batters. Slow grounder to Blackwood. Blackwood takes care of it, and Kansas City takes game 2 of this doubleheader. Mark Haynes picks up his 15th save of the season. Wichita drops to 50-31. Kansas City improves to 38-43. The 7-game winning streak was cut short in the first game, but now they can get another one going as they picked up the W. Taking the loss for Wichita is Todd Kibbe. If you listen to this broadcast, you know I'm not really his biggest fan in the world, and why should I be? That drops Todd Kibbe's record of 1-4, and picking up the win for Kansas City is Josh Hodges. Hodges still keeping his productivity with Kansas City intact, as he is now 4-6 on the season, 2-2 as a T-Bone. Mark Haynes, like I said, picked up his 15th save. Kansas City's bats were led by a number of guys. Where do we start? Jake Blackwood, 3-run home run in the first. His final stat line looks like this: 3 for 4 with a run scored and 3 ribbies. Anthony Gauss is right behind him with a solo home run of his own, going 2 for 3 with a run scored and a ribby. Starlin Rodriguez also followed Gauss with a solo home run, going 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Top of the order doing some work: Dalton Wheat going 2 for 4 with a run scored. Tyler Mazzy also 2 for 4. With Wichita, their bats remained, well, they kind of gave it all they had in the first. Now they're dead. Zach Cox went 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Leo Vargas went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. TJ Middlestat went 1 for 3 today with an RBI. And Brent Cleveland 1 for 3 with a ribby. Kansas City will be back on the air tomorrow at 7:30. As we will see Jaron Messer on the mound for the T-Bones after his complete game shutout against Laredo at Community America Ballpark just days ago. He'll be going against Anthony Capra. First pitch set for 7:05. That ends a long day for everybody here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium and on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. We're going to hop out of here real quick. Kansas City winning the second game 6-3, dropping the first game 3-0. Kansas City splits the doubleheader today. We'll be back on the air tomorrow at 7:05. This is Sam King signing off, saying a very sincere thank you for listening, and be safe out there.
This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at tbonesbaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.